Israel is at war with Hamas after militants from that group murdered, raped, and kidnapped hundreds of innocent Israelis near the Gaza border.
The deadly conflict is reverberating here in Colorado as our own state lawmakers clash, as one newly appointed state representative is accused of tacitly endorsing the violence. The death toll in the fighting between Israel and Hamas has climbed to at least 1,600. Another day of relentless airstrikes expected to push that number higher. At least 14 Americans are among the dead. President Biden spoke with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu today and addressed the crisis publicly from the White House.
Hamas does not stand for the Palestinian people's right to dignity and self-determination. Its stated purpose is the annihilation of the state of Israel and the murder of Jewish people. They use Palestinian civilians as human shields. Hamas offers nothing but terror and bloodshed with no regard to who pays the price.
Despite the horrors we're learning about every day, State Representative Tim Hernandez refused to condemn the violence. A Denver man talked to Hernandez at a pro-Palestinian rally over the weekend and recorded some of that heated exchange. Political specialist Sean Boyd talked with that man today. And Sean, that video spread quickly on social, and Hernandez now being criticized by people all over the world.
Yeah, Karen, he released a statement saying he condemns war for any loss. But as you're about to see, he refused to specifically condemn Hamas terrorism when asked about it. Hernandez was appointed to his seat recently by Democrats, and some are now calling on the party to remove him. As Hamas militants stormed Israel over the weekend, killing, raping, and kidnapping innocent Israelis, in Colorado, State Representative Tim Hernandez attended a pro-Palestinian rally at the Capitol.
No peace on stolen land!
No peace on stolen land!
Which may have gone unnoticed, except for a video posted by this guy. Russell was on his way to synagogue and was appalled by what he saw.
That was in the midst of the slaughter, and he was out there celebrating on that day.
For Palestine, we will fight.
He says Hernandez introduced himself as a state representative, and he began recording a conversation that would go viral.
Do you condemn the murder of women and children in the streets by Palestinian terrorists?
I condemn any form of colonial violence.
Can you say yes to that?
Perpetuated upon any group of people because I believe
do you consider?
Are you going to keep interrupting me so you can get some Twitter clout or what?
I asked if liberating Palestine involves murdering women and children in the streets.
I said, yes or no? I told you I believe in the liberation of Palestine, and I've already answered that question.
And I think it's despicable what they're protesting for.
Congratulations.
And what you're protesting
Congratulations.
for. And the fact that you can't condemn women and children and elderly people being murdered in the streets.
What about it?
Senator Daphne Michelson-Janay and Representative Ron Weinberg, members of the Jewish caucus at the Capitol, among those who saw the video. Both have family in Israel.
To have a rally in support of Palestine at that moment seemed a little bit blind to what was happening in the world at that moment and the terror that our families were experiencing in real time.
And it's not a Republican or a Democrat issue. This issue stems specifically to what is right and what is wrong for humanity. And what is being conducted is literal war crimes. Every single lawmaker should stand firm, shoulder to shoulder, hand in hand, regardless of a party affiliation, and declare this as unacceptable.
Hernandez not only attended the rally, but retweeted anti-Israel posts. He later released a statement saying he was standing in solidarity with the Colorado Palestinian community, not Hamas. Michelson-Janay suggests he's quibbling with semantics.
His retweets are endorsements.
Russell went a step further.
He was not elected by a single Coloradan. He was appointed to an empty seat by the Democratic caucus, and I think it's now their responsibility to expel him from that seat.
Governor Polis sent me a statement saying the only proper response is to condemn Hamas for these evil terrorist attacks on innocent civilians and stand with Israel. The Democratic Speaker of the House and Majority Leader also released a statement saying they had spoken with Hernandez and say they are deeply disappointed that when there was doubt, he chose not to explicitly condemn the violent Hamas terrorist attacks on innocent Israelis, going on to say the murder of nearly 1,000 innocent people is an atrocity that demands unequivocal condemnation. We stand with the people of Israel and the Jewish community in Colorado, they say. Live at the Capitol, Sean Boyd covering Colorado First.